Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.
Hello and welcome to the Leveling Up Podcast with me, George Swift. The Leveling Up Podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. I'm here to give you the inspiration, the motivation and to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and never miss an episode. Today's content comes inspired by a quote of mine, and it goes like this. Our soft and safe lifestyle has made it okay to be half-arsed about results. In the animal kingdom, nothing less than 100% will do. What I mean by that is that for our species to get to its current state of evolution, the incredible feats of achievement that the human race has performed in recent years is only because we managed to survive against all odds to get this far. In our evolutionary past, it was a battle, a challenge to get from one day into the next, let alone 1 week to the next or 1 year to the next. Most of us perished. Many of us didn't make it. And because of that, we simply could not go at life half-arsed. We couldn't have a that'll do attitude. If you look at the animal kingdom today, it can't have a that'll do attitude. Take the lion, for example. When you see a lion, it doesn't sit there and have a go at life. It doesn't have a punt and see if it can catch the antelope. When a lion goes on the hunt, it goes 100%. In fact, everything the animal kingdom does is at 100%. It can't afford to mess about. It can't afford to get it wrong. The problem we have in our society today is that we have all the spoils of those battles that our ancestors have won for us to get us this far. And the truth is, our lifestyle today, it's incredibly safe. It's enabled us to be soft. It's enabled us to not have to work that hard, to not have to risk that much. And because of that, we have become soft by nature. And what that means is that most of us, we're going like at life half-arsed, and it's kind of acceptable that we get half-arsed results. But the truth of the matter is there's so much more out there for us if we were to tap into that animalistic sense of ourselves, that animalistic side to who we are, which is that kind of all or nothingness, that super competitiveness. You look at the animal kingdom, you look at the lion I was talking about, and it's so competitive out there. The lion's not just competing with the other lions, it's competing with the hyenas, it's competing with nature itself. And it's still brutal. The animal kingdom is still a brutal way of life. And because of that, the animal kingdom has to really fight for what it needs. It has to fight for its survival. Now, we're lucky in so many ways that we just don't have to do that anymore. You know, we can get by with a very limited quality of life. We still have, compared to the animal kingdom, incredible safety. Very few of us, thankfully, are hungry. Very few of us don't have shelter. Very few of us aren't safe. The majority of our species is well fed, it's well cared for, and it's safe. And because of that, we've lost that fight. We've lost that innate need to really go for life, to really go for what we want, to really apply ourselves. And when I look around me and I look at what most people are doing, and I'm not trying to criticize, I'm certainly not judging people. I know they're working hard, and I know they're maybe doing long hours, and I know they've got a lot on their plate and everything else. But when I look at them, when I look at their goals, their ambitions, their dreams, when I look at their businesses, for example, when I work with entrepreneurs, so often I see a real lacking of that real total commitment, that fight, that absolute burning need to achieve this thing in order to get to the next level. And the reason being is if you're running a 100 grand business, the chances are it's not life and death whether you run a 150 grand business. And if you're running a £2 million business, it's unlikely to be life and death whether you're going to, take your business to 3 million or 4 million. And even if you've got, an average job with an average salary and an average lifestyle, it's like, yeah, I'm safe. I mean, it buys a nicer holiday and it might buy a nicer car and it might get me one extra bedroom. But do I really want to work twice as hard to make twice as much money to buy those things? And the truth is, for many people, it simply isn't. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that everyone out there should be driven for massive success and should be out there fighting for their life and fighting for what they want. But I want you just to be honest with yourself and look at yourself and say to yourself, are you really applying yourself in a way that deserves to get the rewards or the goals that maybe you're working for? So you want to achieve big success. You've got ambition. I want you to do a double check on yourself and saying, really simply, am I applying myself to the degree that I would need to apply myself in order to create this result? And if you haven't got ambition and you haven't got that drive and you don't want to take your business or your life much beyond what it is today, I want you to tap inside yourself and say, why is that? Why don't I have that yearning, that burning fire within me to improve myself, improve my business, improve my lifestyle? The truth of the matter is, for most of us, we're not playing to win. We're playing to stay the same. And evolution, I've said this in previous podcasts, evolution doesn't really care about our individual thriving. We thrive as a species, as an entire species we thrive because we survive as individuals. So there's no real craving that comes from evolution through nature that really wants us to particularly go beyond safety. Because once we're safe, we've done enough. To do more than what is required potentially puts us at risk again. So whilst as human beings, there is a degree of human nature which is to want more and to desire more and maybe even to crave more, it's actually really tempered by our natural instincts to play it safe. So when most of us really tap into that fire, when we really tap into that incredible drive and focus that we see throughout the animal kingdom, it's normally when we're facing our own life and death scenarios. It's like you've lost your job, you can't afford the mortgage, you're about to go under, and you become super resourceful, so committed, so focused, so disciplined to resolving this problem. And you probably surprise yourself at how resourceful you are, how resilient you are. You probably surprise yourself how hard you can work in those situations. And then you resolve that problem, you get comfortable again, and then we lose all that drive and that fight. And in fact, often we negatively criticize and judge people who do have that drive and that desire. Those people that do want to continue to take themselves and build their life and to take their business to the next level, to become wealthier. We often judge that negatively. We often say to people, when is enough? When are you going to have enough money? When are you going to have enough of this? When are you going to be satisfied? And I'm not saying that I don't want you to be satisfied, but I do believe we're missing a phenomenal part, an experience of what it is to be alive if we are not experiencing that drive and that passion and that fire and that fight within us. But here's the thing, I don't want you fighting for survival. I don't want you to fight to stay comfortable. I want you to fight for what you want. I want you to fight for your ambition. I want you to fight for the vision, for your purpose, for what it is you're trying to create in this world. I want you to fight for not average or okay or adequate. I want you to fight for excellence, superb. I want you to fight for what you believe in, to fight for your vision, for what it is you're trying to create, maybe in your life, in your community, in your business. I want you to fight to take everything to the next level. I don't want this to be a miserable fight. I don't want this to be an unpleasant experience. I want you to feel that burning inside of you, that you truly want to commit yourself to something. But here's the trouble. The trouble is that our evolutionary past, and including in the animal kingdom as well, by the way, even to today, it doesn't have the drive to go beyond comfort. When the lion has filled its belly, there is no longer a drive to hunt. There is no longer a drive to make things better. There's no drive to hunt for the next bit of food before it needs it. It's done what it needs to do. It's killed, it's eaten, and then a day, 2 days, maybe more, it will sit on its fat ass doing nothing. And that's kind of where we're at. Except the lion then has to go and fight again for what it wants. So what we've got is we've got these things inside of us that are working against us, because just like the lion, when we're in comfort, when our bellies are full, we're not meant to risk that. We're not meant to continue to drive. However, what happens then, just like the lion, is at some point we might lose that comfort, and then that fight kicks in again and off we go. What I want us to do is stop bouncing off the bottom. So we're going from being uncomfortable to comfortable, and then kind of easing off, and then either staying there, oh my God, that sounds terrible, or worse, dropping back down again, losing a degree of that comfort, which means we then have to stoke the fires of fight again. Evolution will do that. Nature will do that. Your unconscious will naturally do that. You'll find yourself starting to fight again. Instead of that, I want you to fight beyond comfort and continue to fight above and beyond where you are right now, and to take yourself to unbelievable levels. The animal kingdom is one where it's brutal. Our lifestyle for most of us, and if you're listening to this podcast, probably for you, pretty comfortable. And that comfort is an absolute gift, but it is also a curse. And what we need to do is we need to really ask ourselves, am I happy with comfortable? Am I happy playing it safe? Am I happy where I am right now? And statistically speaking, we're not. Statistically, most people are not happy with their lives in the Western world. They're not happy with their lifestyle. They're not happy with their jobs. They're not happy with their careers. Many people are not happy with their relationships. Many people are not happy with their health or with their body. They're not happy with their financial circumstances. So if statistically so many of us aren't happy with what we have, but what we have is comfort, it's safety, and evolution isn't going to give us the drive to get up and fight for more, we need to find that fight within ourselves. Now, some people do negatively tap into this. This is the nature of the person we talked about before, where they never have enough. They make their first million and they still don't feel wealthy enough. So they have to go for the second, and then the fifth, and then the 10th million and 100th million. And they still don't feel like they've done enough. They still don't feel like they're wealthy enough. This is the academic who has 3 degrees and 2 master's degrees and a PhD and other doctorates, but they still don't feel smart enough. This is a negative trait. Often we find with people who can excel, it can be through negative motivation. It can be because, I haven't proved myself yet enough. I don't want you to be negatively motivated. What I want you to do is be positively motivated. I want you to tap into how things could be. I want you to get excited and purposeful and passionate about how the world could look, how your life could look, how your business could look, how your finances could look, how your body, your relationships could look. I want you to find this fight, this incredible, powerful fight that's still in us, but so rarely gets turned on. And instead applying it just to create a sense of safety, to create a degree of comfort, I want you to turn it on, and I want it to take you to new heights and new levels. I want you to want more in all the right ways. I want you to want to be wealthier for all the right reasons. I want you to crave more, desire more, to be driven to achieve more. I want all of that for you in all the most positive of ways. I also want you to enjoy what you have and to appreciate what you have and to have gratitude for what you have today. To appreciate the body you have today whilst being driven to create the masterpiece that you're trying to create in the future. To be so grateful for the opportunity and the freedom to be a business owner and entrepreneur today, whilst really passionate and driven and excited about the empire that you're going to inhabit in the future. I don't want to take away your comfort. I don't want to take away your safety. What I want to do is I want to engage the fight, engage the drive. I want you to engage that 100% that nature and the animal kingdom demands of it. But unlike the lion who switches off that drive, switches off that fight, I want you to keep it burning, to keep driving, to keep pushing. But I want you to enjoy the push. I don't want you to be tired and burnt out and exhausted and knackered and resentful of it. I want you to thrive on it and enjoy it and be passionate about it. And we can't do this unless we get involved in our own systems. Our evolutionary systems are working against us. Our soft and safe lifestyle today is working against us. Our perceptions of risk and danger and doubt and fear and reward and all these things are often working against us. This is why so much of what I do at Success Groups and so much of what I do with our Extreme Growth Masterminds is around the mindset. It's around mindset, it's around attitude, it's around our perceptions. It's how we see ourselves, it's how we see the world, it's how we see business. It includes, what is success and what isn't success. If you think 100 grand is a lot of money, if your business right now and you're doing 30,000 and you think 100 grand turnover is an impossible amount of money, then your unconscious systems and mechanisms interact with that 100 grand in that way. But if you think 100 grand isn't that much money, it becomes a lot more achievable to attain. See, if you think £1 million is impossible, then it seems so far out, and it is so far out for you. You'll never do what you need to do to go out and create it. But if you see £1 million as achievable, £1 million turnover as an achievable target, you see it as something to be done, that's something you can achieve, then you'll engage unconsciously to go out and create it. If you think £1 million is nothing, you're probably working on a £10 million business. If you think £10 million is nothing, you're probably working on a 100 million business. If you think that 100 grand is loads and loads and loads and loads, you probably can't even imagine earning that in revenue. So you have to understand that there's so many of these mechanisms that are working against us, holding us back, stopping us from achieving what we could achieve, from being totally fulfilled, that is holding us back from being truly happy. Because when you really break it down, evolution and nature doesn't really care about our happiness. It doesn't really care about our success in terms of achieving more and more and more. It doesn't really care about how well things are for us as long as we're safe, as long as we're still here, as long as we're still alive, then whatever we're doing must be working, and evolution doesn't want you to fuck with that. Once we've got a degree of comfort and safety, nature doesn't want us to fuck with that. But we have an unparalleled opportunity. We were born into such a place of comfort and safety. It was such a leg up. If our caveman in our ancestry could see where we are today and look at what we have today with fridges full of food and houses and walls and protection and the level of risk that we have today, they couldn't imagine that quality of life. And yet we squander it. We don't really do much with it. We're born into it and we continue that level of life without realizing it's a launch pad. Like, to come into this world, to come into this time and to have safety and to have shelter and to have food and to have a support network and support systems in place. It's not the target to aim for. It's what most of us were born into and we're maintaining. It's not. We want to see it as a plinth to stand on, to get a head start, and there to start creating our campaign to improve our life, our campaign to improve our businesses, to improve the world around us. So stop playing it small, stop playing it safe. Stop letting our soft and safe lifestyles manipulate us into accepting half-arsed results. Instead, realize the gift we've been given of safety, the gift we've been given of comfort, and use that as a massive stepping stone into success, fulfillment, and achievement. I want you to feel the lions roar within you. I want you to feel the burning urge to fight for what you want, to fight for what you want to create, to understand that what you want in the world and what you want in your life matters, and it is worth fighting for. But I want you to enjoy that fight. I want you to be driven by that fight. I want it to be purposeful, passionate, exhilarating, exciting. I want it to create positive changes in your life, in the lives around you, in the world around you. I want you to be driven for all the right reasons. I want you to want more and to achieve more for all the right reasons. Once again, our soft and safe lifestyle has made it okay to be half-arsed about our results. In the animal kingdom, nothing less than 100% will do. I want you to tap in to that 100%. Stop surviving and start thriving. Once again, thank you for taking this time to listen to this podcast. I'm aware that many people are vying for your time and attention, and I really appreciate you spending this 20 minutes or so with me. If you're a small business and you haven't yet hit 100K in turnover and you want to know what it's going to take in order to achieve 100K in the next 12 months or less for you, please do go and check out my 6-figure fast track webinar, completely free of charge. It's a free resource out there for you. I'm absolutely committed to helping sub 100K businesses break that 100K turnover mark. In that webinar, we're going to look at your 6-figure mindset, your 6-figure business model, and your 6-figure day-to-day methodology. What is it you need to be doing? And more importantly, what is it you need not to be doing in order to fast track you and your business to 100K or more? If you feel that fight, you feel the lion roaring inside you, and you want to take your business to 100K or more, get yourself over to biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk/fast track. I'll put the link in the description below. Follow that link, watch the 6-figure fast track, and take you and your business to the next level. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, be successful.
Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.